Hello everyone, the first thing I learned is that after completing your first playthrough of the story, you will be able to purchase the Stake Magnum from the merchant. This weapon is by far the best weapon in the game. I would recommend getting this weapon as soon as possible. The damage on this weapon when fully upgraded is 4,500 per shot, and you can have up to 28 bullets in a single clip. The second point I learned is that in order to get the Stake Magnum sooner, it is very beneficial to unlock unlimited ammo for at least one weapon before saving up for the Stake Magnum, since the stake and its upgrades are so expensive. That is, if you are okay with using unlimited ammo. A good weapon to get unlimited ammo for is the Dragoon Assault Rifle, which you can unlock once you have enough CP points, which you get from completing challenges. When you unlock the weapon, it is already fully upgraded, so all that is left to do is to purchase the unlimited ammo for it, which once again, you will need more CP points to purchase the unlimited ammo upgrade. Once you have the unlimited ammo upgrade, when you start a new game plus, you can now primarily use the Dragoon to help you farm lay and more easily get through the story. The third bit of information I learned is that the Village of Shadows difficulty is so difficult that it would be very beneficial for you to beat the story at least once before attempting to play through the story on that difficulty. When you start a new game plus, the weapons you carry over from the previous story should be strong enough at that point to help you push through the Village of Shadows difficulty. Though this difficulty is so challenging from the start, later on when you have the best weapons in the game and your character fully upgraded, you should be able to fly through the story on this difficulty without too many problems. Which leads us to the fourth thing I learned, which is playing on the Village of Shadows difficulty is by far the fastest way to earn lay in the story if your weapons are strong enough. This is because with every difficulty increase, the enemies you face will drop more valuable loot and or larger bags of lay than they would on lower difficulties. In addition to this, there are also more enemies that spawn the higher the difficulty is, which as a result leads to more loot. So before attempting this difficulty, I would recommend having a fully upgraded Stake Magnum with unlimited ammo. The fifth item I learned about is in the first main Lycan attack of the story, you can kill Urius, the giant Lycan with the hammer. If you manage to kill him, he will drop a large bag of lay, up to 35,000 lay if you are on the Village of Shadows difficulty. In addition to this, you will also complete a challenge for killing him, earning you more CP. I would recommend only attempting this if you are on New Game Plus and are using some type of fully upgraded weapon, since he has a large amount of health and you have a limited time to kill him. The sixth thing I learned is after you completely clear the stronghold area in the story, you can travel back to the large field leading up to Louisa's house. This is one of the first areas you visit when entering the village. When you travel back to this field, you will find a large Varkalak, which happens to be the Varkalak Alpha. If you can manage to kill the Varkalak Alpha, he will drop a treasure called the Crystal Ancient Beast, which you can sell to the merchant for 80,000 lay. In addition to this, like killing Urius in the first Lycan attack, you will complete a challenge for doing this. The seventh point I learned about is how to get treasure on the boat in the lake area where you fight Moreau. If you recall, when you go to get on the boat in the lake after encountering Moreau for the first time, there is a boat to the left with a chest sitting on it. Unfortunately, there is no way to reach that boat at that time. After you defeat Moreau and have drained the lake, go back to that same area and there will now be a path that you can follow down into the bottom of the lake. On this path, you will find a hidden goat, fish in the pond at the end of the path, and the chest on the boat containing a valuable treasure that you can now obtain. The eighth bit of information I learned is how to open the chest that is on the way to the factory area where you find Heisenberg. In order to open this chest, you first need to travel back to the front of Louisa's house after obtaining the second part of the winged key. At this point, there will now be a treasure chest that spawns there. Inside, you will find Louisa's necklace. After picking up the necklace, examine it and you will be able to remove the crystal inside of it. Then examine the necklace again and you will be able to pull a key out of the necklace. Now go back to the chest on the way to the factory and use the key from the necklace. The chest will now open and the treasure inside is yours. The ninth item I learned about is regarding the raised bridge next to the first bridge you cross on the way to the factory. After you obtain the crank from beating the area where Moreau is located, you can come back to this raised bridge and lower it using the crank. Once you lower this bridge, you can get on a boat and travel down both directions of the river. If you go the opposite direction the boat is initially facing, you will reach a location where you can find a rare fish and also a valuable treasure in a cave. Then if you go the direction the boat is initially facing, at the end of the river, you will see closed doors leading into a part of the castle that you can enter and also another raised bridge. First, enter the closed doors and you will come across a puzzle. In order to solve this puzzle, first light the two unlit fires by shooting or pushing the lit fire in their direction. This will open the doors on your left and right. The door on your right will spawn a zombie from that room. Push the swinging lit fire into the zombie. This will catch the zombie on fire. Then lead the zombie into the next room and stand next to the last unlit fire. Once the zombie touches the unlit fire, this will open the final door where the main treasure is located. Finally, back outside, you can now lower the bridge with the crank. Go through the house on the other side of the bridge and hop through the house's window to the outside. Here you will find a well you can now enter using the well wheel. At the bottom bottom of the well, there is a puzzle to solve. All you have to do is lift the platform so you can walk across them and move some carts out of the way so you can access the hole in the top of the gated off room where a treasure chest is located. Inside the chest is a blood pigeon ruby. This ruby can then be combined with the Dimitrescu necklace that has 2 empty sockets. If you don't yet have this necklace, it is located in the well next to the first church you come across early on in the game. Then the final ruby for the necklace is located in the gated off area where you have the first Lycan attack. You can also use the crank to enter this area. Once you enter this area, climb the ladder and open the chest on top of the building. The final ruby is inside the chest. Combine all 3 parts and you now have a very valuable necklace. The 10th thing I learned is how to get into the grave on the way to the dollhouse. After you clear the nightmarish location and make it back to the area where the merchant is, you can now go back to the graves on the way to Louise's house. In this area, there was a previously locked and gated tomb. The gates to this tomb are now open and inside is the missing piece to the gravestone. Take that piece back to the grave and you will now be able to get the treasure inside. Be careful though, once you reach the grave with the missing piece, a dangerous boss will spawn. If you can kill him, however, you will end up with 2 valuable treasures versus just 1. The 11th fact I learned is where the ball is located for the ball puzzle within the factory. After you pass the part where there is a giant rotating saw in the ceiling, you will walk through a door. As soon as you walk through this door, go up the stairs to the left and you will see another set of stairs. Before going up the second set of stairs, just to the right there is a cart sitting next to the wall. Interact with the cart and move it forward. Once moved, you now have access to a crawl space you can move through. At the end of the crawl space is a room containing a ball mold. Take this mold back to the forge and create the ball. Now you can use this ball on the ball puzzle on floor B4 in the room next to where the merchant is located. Completing the puzzle will grant you access to a very valuable treasure. The 12th bit of information I learned is in regards to the Mercenaries game mode, which you unlock after completing the story 1 time. For the first 4 Mercenaries stages, one of the best ways to get SSS rating is to sell everything in your inventory at the start except for handgun ammo. Then buy the V61 handgun from the merchant and upgrade it as much as you can with your remaining lay. The first thing you should upgrade is firepower as much as possible, second is rate of fire, third is reload speed, and last is ammo capacity. As you complete rounds, at the end of every round, use the lay you earned to upgrade the V61 further in that order. The 13th point I learned is regarding the last 4 stages of the Mercenaries game mode. A great way to get SSS rating is from the start, buy the Wolfsbane Magnum for 20,000 lay. Then upgrade the firepower as much as you can for the Lemmy. Finally, with the remaining 3,000 lay, upgrade your rate of fire 1 time. After completing rounds with the lay you earned, upgrade the Lemmy in the order I described in point 12. Once you reach a point where your Lemmy is fully upgraded, you may have enough lay depending on the mission you are on to purchase the grenade launcher. If possible, buy this weapon as well. The 14th item I learned about is that a continuous combo and bonus time are the main factors for gaining points in the Mercenaries game mode. Due to this, it is best to do a couple trial runs of each mercenary mission to learn where everything is, such as bonus time orbs, upgrade orbs, and when/where every enemy spawns. Once you have the location of everything memorized, getting a large combo and having a lot of extra time becomes much easier. The 15th and final piece of information we will cover in this video that I learned about is in regards to the Knives Out challenge. Before attempting this challenge, I would recommend unlocking the LZ Answerer. This weapon does the most melee damage of all close combat weapons in the game and has the best range. In order to unlock the LZ Answerer, you need to obtain a SS rating on every mercenary's mission. Once you have the weapon unlocked, you will need to purchase it from the merchant. After that, you can now use it throughout the story. Then to make getting the Knives Out challenge completed even easier, you will want to play through the story on casual difficulty. This will make the average enemy much easier to kill, but most importantly, the boss fights will be much shorter. In regards to areas where you are forced to shoot a weapon at range, such as when you have to solve a puzzle in the game, you can do this without fear of ruining the challenge. The main thing is to never fire a single bullet at an enemy though, unless you are using the rocket-propelled artillery in the Heisenberg boss fight, or when prompted to shoot in the final boss fight against Miranda. This holds true even for the final guardian that is protecting the Mega Mycete that looks just like Urius, the giant Lycan. When fighting this boss, you can only use the combat knife Chris has. If you use the support artillery, this will ruin your ability to complete the Knives Out challenge. And that is all I have for you in this video. There are definitely more topics that could be covered for this game, but I felt like the points covered here would help you the most. If you have any questions, post them in the comment section. Subscribe for more. Please leave a like if you found this to be helpful or enjoyable. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.